My name's Alyssa Castaneda. I'm 17 and I go to San Diego High School. Honestly, my mom and my aunt, they've both always been there. They're both really hardworking women. They're both single moms, and I've always just inspired and looked up to them. They're my biggest supporters. They just really inspire me. I think they're both really strong, and I just want to be like them. And they always say that they just want me to be better. But I just if I can be half as good or smart, strong as them, I'll be happy. For me, success is the value that you put into something, or the hard work that you put into something. I'm really hard on myself, so it can be really hard, but at the end of the day, I usually just tell myself as long as I accomplish something or I finish something, that should be good enough for me. And as long as I put my all into it, I think that's when I can feel successful and accomplished about something. I think just school and getting through getting good grades and managing sports and school and my classes. APs are really hard for me. It's been hard to manage, especially on top of applications and trying to figure everything out. And then on top of that, having practices. It's been hard, but I really pushing myself and knowing that I can do it and being able to accomplish that. Freshman year and quarantine was really hard for me, but sophomore year I was just really dedicated, and I pushed through it, and I got good grades, and I'm proud of myself for that, for always knowing my goals and focusing and doing whatever I can, for school and college. Freshman year, it was really hard being in quarantine, just being in isolation, and I kind of let my grades slip a little. I just kind of stopped trying for a bit, and it was really hard to get back on track, but I just kept telling myself I've always kind of known that I wanted to do something big and just make an impact no matter what. I always knew that I was going to go to college and try to get a higher education, and I knew that the best way to do that is to get good grades and to focus on my schoolwork no matter what. Once you start studying and you start getting those good grades and you see how much you start loving it. I love to learn, I love to do all of everything. So once you actually just see the results and see how good or just what you're capable of doing, it just gets easier, I think, for me. I think that some advice that I really would recommend is when I was going into high school, I was really scared to try new things. I was scared to join clubs or join sports or just do anything outside of my friend group. But last year I started to actually join clubs and do the things that I actually took interest in. And I think it was one of the best decisions that I made. Last year I started debate club, and it was so much fun, and I started track, and I met so many people. And I think that no matter what, you're always gonna find friends, and especially it's even better that you find friends that have those interests, the same interests as you. So I think just don't let fear get in the way of what you want, or just don't let that stop you, because you never know what you're gonna find. Short term, right now at the moment, is getting my college applications ready and done, and I just want to get into at least a few good schools and have options, and then eventually go to law school. I want to become a lawyer someday, so I think that's really long term. That's 8 years. Yeah. I really like running. I know that's crazy, and I never thought that I would. I always thought people in cross country were crazy, but now I'm that crazy person. It really helps me with my stress, and I think it really helps me focus. It gives me that time in between school and then practice and then going home and doing more homework. And I think that that running really releases that stress, and it just makes me really happy. I don't know. To me, kindness is just how I make someone feel. I really try to make people feel welcome, no matter what. I think that I make people feel comfortable by just being kind to them, just talking about themselves, making sure they feel comfortable. One example is in the beginning of the year in orchestra. I sat next to this freshman and I could tell he was really nervous, and I tried talking to him and I just tried making him feel comfortable, like asking him about himself. And eventually, like now he's like one of my closest friends, because I think that it's just a way that I present myself and that I, just make sure that, people feel heard. In elementary school, I used to do these summer programs. They're called Summer Bridge. 7th grade going on to 8th grade, that summer we were doing a lot of debates and a lot of talk about college. And one day it just kind of clicked to me that I want to be a lawyer. And so I'm glad that I had that at a younger age, where I kind of just like knew what I wanted to do. So now I have these goals, whereas other people, they might not know what they want to do, which is totally fine, but I'm just glad and grateful that I got that at a younger age. I always just said that I just want to leave an impact on people. I want to make people feel happy, feel comfortable. I just want to know that I helped a good amount of people. When I was younger, I wanted to be a doctor because I was well, they help people, but now I think that a lawyer, I can help families or help whoever it might be that needs that help. I just want to make sure that I do as much good as I can and I help as many people, and I change their lives for the better is honestly my greatest